Okay, so this is the first part, right? Okay, I actually forgot to tell you this, but I would highly recommend you guys break up your stories into parts and break up your stories into little paragraphs so that it would be easier to format. Usually because most of the time the formatting, when you read novels and you read books, it will always have short paragraphs instead of long-winded paragraphs. This is one of the more important parts here. Like, for example, and I usually would like to add around a tab in front of the first paragraph, which is practically 3 spaces. Optimal number. Okay, the story began with a bright sunny day when Maria was playing with her friends in the green grass field. That was the moment she spotted a large swirl circle covered in colorful colors, and a soft, healing music is exhaled from that mysterious circle. So I'll focus on this one here. This first part is okay. The second part, there's a bit of a problematic part with it, but this can be easily changed. Usually this part here, usually you can add that was the moment when, or at that moment, depends on which one you prefer. I would usually go with at that moment. She spotted a large swirl circle. Okay, so can you like give me more can you give me more description on the swirl circle? Because I'm thinking of like the almost like a hole, right? Like the hole with a circle and it looks like a lollipop kind of hole.
Yes, like that.
Okay. So usually you would say that, large swirl. Large swirl is enough to say it, but you can say also large swirly circle. Usually I would go with swirl because the more simple of your description, the better, because then you would have less to really deal with and it would be less complicated for you to less complicated and your plot, it would not be as likely for you to have plot holes or to have things that don't connect and make sense in the story. Covered in colorful colors, I think usually, I think you meant here it should be bright color, it should be bright colorful, it should be a bright colorful spots, which again, okay, so you, with this, we can go 2 ways. Either one, you can say that she spotted a swirl covered in bright colors, or you can say she spotted a bright colorful swirl with I don't know which do you prefer here, because it's basically the same thing.
I think that both way is okay.
Okay, so I'll put in I'll just try to minimally change it, and I will add the other ways for you in the comments, just if you would like it to be that in another way. So
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so they should be in bright colors and a soft healing and a soft healing music is exhale from that mysterious circle. Okay, so exhale is like what you do when you breathe. And so when you're saying that music from that large swirl, you would say that it came from that large swirl. And you also use is when you just said it in the past, set in the past tense. So ideally it should be came out. Or if you want to change or uh came out of, that is. Or came from, came out of, or came from, depending on what you like.
Excuse me, when will this class end?
What?
When will this class end?
What do you mean test?
Class.
Class? Oh, class starts at 4:30, so it will end at 6.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Anyways, wait, let me try to add in the other parts. This could also be okay, it could be also be that. And because of curiosity, Maria walked through that hole when she felt very sleepy and fell asleep. Okay, this is a bit problematic here because I think that you're trying to say that she was curious and when she stepped into that swirl, she fell asleep. She felt like there was a spell and then she fell asleep, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I will reword it as such. For me, I would say that curiosity got the better of Maria. And so she walked through that swirl. Inside, she felt as if there she felt as if a spell was casted. She fell asleep. That is what I would do, but but in this, the only more problematic part is this, and you can just use uh when she felt very sleepy and fell asleep. Part is when she felt very sleepy or fell asleep. You can say that, oh, she just passed out or she blacked out because she fell asleep. That's it. When you try to like really just repeat words like this, it's going to break up the flow and it's not going to be as fluent. It doesn't sound as natural compared to something that doesn't repeat multiple words. It was very long when Maria woke up and found herself in a cave, surrounded by a strange force. Okay, this is good. That is the time when she noticed that her red dress had already turned into a beautiful blue magical dress that gave her more energy when she already felt tired.
Oh, that is the old version. I have changed that one.
Oh, really? Wait, let me see. No, because I thought this was. Oh, sorry about that.
Yes, mine was
The part one. Sorry about that.
that.
Okay. This is long. Want to see how. Okay. Here. That is the time when she noticed that her red dress had turned into a beautiful magical blue dress that sprinkles and change colors like a beautiful diamond. Okay, so I think here that you're trying to refer to the like holograms, like the holographic ability. I don't know, I don't have any cards here that are holographic, but basically it's like when you turn it, it flashes color, right?
Yes, when we change the direction of
Yeah.
it will change to another color.
Okay, so basically that would mean that it is that flashes different colors. You can now list out the colors. Maybe like, oh, here, turn in. You can say that flashes colors in the sunlight. Uh, okay, this is what I would do here. I would rephrase it as that is the also the that is a time is not a correct expression is she can say you can say when she woke up she noticed that her red dress and and you continue with that or you can just put it simply that she noticed that her red dress had turned into the beautiful magical blue dress. Oh, also one more thing. Uh, at this point, where she woke up, this is something that happened new that happens to the story. So when something new happens in the story, you break the paragraph and you start a new paragraph. Okay? So here, this is what I would word the sentence to be like. She noticed that her red dress had turned into a beautiful magical blue dress that flashes different colors in the sunlight. Red, blue, yellow, just like so on, just like a diamond. She felt very curious about the place she was standing on, so she got up and walked out the cave to explore new things. Okay, new thing that happens. She then saw a lot of creatures. Okay, this here you would use an M dash and not an N dash, which is this. Not the normal ones, but strange ones with different kinds of colors. And animals, here you should add that because an animal that looks like is an accurate expression, while an animal looks like something is not that. It's not an accurate way to describe something that looks like another. Cute rabbit but covered in yellow. Another might be a bird. Okay, so here, this clause here, I think that you are trying to refer to that bird that is sometimes visible, but then flickers between being invisible and visible at the same time. Like when you try to say, okay, like 1 second it's there, 1 second it's gone, and then you look back, it's there again. Like that kind, right?
Yes.
Okay, so the one okay, so here you would say that it's one and not the one instead, because you haven't addressed it yet, so it should be you have already addressed it, so the is not necessary now. When that is sometimes visible, okay, she continued her journey and passed the more strange creatures. Then she arrived at a green field with very tall mushrooms. Okay, so I would recommend you here to try and mash these two sentences together. For like say, then she arrived at a green field with very tall mushrooms. Tall as a 2-floor building with white spots on them. It might be easier to comprehend, and it's generally will keep the flow going instead of breaking it up and making it more choppy that way. Castle far. As she continued walking, she saw an enormous castle far away. A pink rabbit saw her and asked, "Who are you?" Surprise. Here you should say that surprise that the rabbit can talk. Maria answered, "I'm Maria, and I got lost in here because I walked into a strange circle." Okay, so one thing I need to clear up here is that you should use more consistent words. Like for example, you use swirl here, but then you change it to a hole, and now it's a circle. So please try to like use the same words. For example, now, please try to use the same words for like one thing because it can get really frustrating and really confusing when you're describing something that is more elaborate and something that is not as common. That short moment, Maria saw a sat. Okay, so usually you would say this as you would say that at that moment Maria saw sadness flashing across the rabbit's face. But then the rabbit continued. This is here. I would usually say that. Flashing. At that moment, Maria saw a hint of sadness flashing across the rabbit's face. Then, oh, also one more thing is that you should assign a way to say it without saying rabbits. Like for example, he, she, it, that kind of thing. So I would assume that the name it should be she because the name is Clara. Okay, so it should be something like this. I understand now. My name is Clara. If you follow these mushrooms, you can see a white house at the end of this trail. Hurry up! You need to arrive before the sun sets. It should be sets, not set, because the sun is something like it sets every day, right? So it should be simple past. It should be a simple. It should be something that it's a fast. So you need to. It repeats every day. So it sets, not set. Okay, I will hurry up. But can you explain to me why? Claire shook her head and said, I can't, but when you arrive there, my younger sister, Sarah, also and dashes are not used as much. Usually I would go with a comma here. Sarah, and I think this is typo, but it's will and not with.
Maybe I type it mistake.
Yeah, sometimes it can be autocorrect. Now hurry up. Okay, so as something that is, I want to make it more, if you want to make it more dramatic, you can add an exclamation point to make it sound like, oh, the sun is almost setting. This part is not as, part is not really needed. So you can say that Maria quickly complies with the rabbit's request. Like, because when she tries to, usually you don't use a lot of one word dialogue because it's not that common here. I would suggest Maria quickly complies. Oh, one more thing. If you try, sorry about that. You're trying to write in the past here, so it should be Maria. quickly comply. Case. Okay. Next, she continued her journey to following the giant mushrooms. Feeling curious, Maria tried to run as fast as she could to arrive at the White House to ask Sarah about many things. I think you mean like which I think this and you should say that you can to ask Sarah about her doubts, which doubts is basically what she is curious and has questions about. It was nearly sunset and Maria was exhausted. She felt hungry and very sleepy. At that time, she noticed a small, sparkling white dot far away from her location. She then used all her remaining energy to run there and saw a completely white house. A better way to describe this is to say a house white from top to toe, which is it's a more natural flow compared to a completely white house. Also, when you have a completely white is not a word in and of its own, so drop the hyphen if you will. Okay.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
Should it be top to bottom or head to toe?
Oh yeah, right. Sorry about that. Okay, she knocked on the door and asked Sarah. I think it should be ask Sarah here because Sarah is someone and not an object. Also, this should be the homeowner, not the house owner. And also, if you use homeowner, these two go together. This dash here is not necessary, so you can drop it. Also, you can drop this part about a white rabbit because Sarah has already been introduced as Clara's sister. So it would make sense if they are the same species. You could go in to have some food and rest. There should be a comma here so that it would break up things nicely. Or you can just like make an entire sentence, make an entire new sentence which is more advisable. Rabbit agreed. Okay, after having some food, she fell asleep, forgetting about all of the questions she wanted to ask. Next morning, she forgot up and surprisingly, she was on her familiar bed in her lovely small room. She thought about the journey she had was just an adventurous dream. When she looked out, felt quite shocked as she was when she realized that she was still in the rabbit's house, and the house was I would say that you replacing it with and sometimes you can use m dash instead of and because it's easier that way and it usually just gets rid of the unnecessary word. However, the thought of wanting to here it should be wanting to look at all the scenes in this mysterious world has helped her overcome the fear and face the window to look down. The house is flying over the sweet land. I don't know what the sweet land is, so I'm thinking of a very like Charlie and the Chocolate Factory kind of sweet land, like it's full of chocolate and it's just candy.
Yes, everything
Okay.
there is covered in sweet, like candies or marshmallow or jelly.
Okay. So you should elaborate on this part and also make it a name like Sweetland. Also, you could change this name if you want because Sweetland sounds like a really doesn't sound that appealing of a name, but if you like it, then it can be taken as so. The river is filled, I would say, flowing with milk because rivers always flow, right? With milk. Trees grow all kinds of candies, and the land is made of green jelly that looks like glass. That looks like grass. Clouds made of bouncy marshmallows. Clouds look like I thought clouds should be like cotton candy. But okay. Uh she knew that the house was flying towards big castle. You've already addressed the castle, so it should be the castle and not a castle. She'd see when she was walking on the trail yesterday. At that moment, she heard the rabbit's voice calling her for breakfast, calling her out. So calling someone out is like calling them out for bad things that they have done, okay? So just say calling her for breakfast. When she went out, she saw that the rabbit was sobbing. She asked, okay, so this is a good place for you to add some dialogue. For example, you could say, she asked, the rabbit told her story during the meal. That was the moment Maria remembered her questions about this strange world. It turns out that the rabbit long ago was also a little girl like Maria. Her name is Sarah. Pink rabbit she met yesterday was Clara, Sarah's older sister. However, also this However, Sarah walked through the mysterious circle like Maria and turned into a white. Also, you forgot the word rabbit here. why does it look weird? It lived in a white house. The color of her dress. Clara walked into that circle too, but she chose to live outside. Not in the house because she already gave it to a smaller squirrel that is very sick. The rabbit told her that all the weird creatures in this kingdom were other little girls like Maria. Just girls that could see mysterious circle and have the ability to walk in it. Okay, so I would reword this, reword this as a few could see the mysterious swirl and be able to walk through it. Okay. Maria also listened to the rabbit and knew that everyone's memory would also forget about the girls that walked in the circle. That is the reason why this world is also known as the land of oblivion. Okay, so usually I would say that Maria the rabbit told her that everyone in the real world would forget about them once they into that swirl. Hence the name land of Bolivia. There you go. This is just one of the many ways you can rephrase it, but usually you would have to say that everyone in the real world would forget about them. And yeah, that's basically it. Okay, lastly, the rabbit said that any girls who stay in this land for over a week will turn into animals with the color of their clothes. And now they're flying to the castle of a wicked witch. And okay, so of a wicked witch and a powerful kingdom who ruled this land. The ones who created that magic circle to trick the girls into this land and turn them into animals. If anyone could steal this magical ring, it could break the curse and turn all the animals back to girls. But why are we flying there? Sarah, okay, I think you should say that it should be replied. You are the only one in this kingdom who could defeat that evil king to break the curse and survive the whole kingdom, were flying there to help you sneak into the castle and steal his ring. Maria, I would say, felt surprise, asked, "Why me?" I would say, here it should be, "Why me but not others?" Sarah answered, "You are the only girl in this whole kingdom that didn't change into an animal." It should be unanimal because Maria isn't two people, right? And your blue dress is very magical. It was a treasure and also a weapon to help you defeat the king. Maria continued, "Wait, my dress is red at first, and I couldn't understand why it changed to blue." Here you should, I would say, oh, I thought the name was the world of the land of oblivion, or is that just like a nickname? And the name is Asteria?
The name of that word is Asteria.
Oh, so the name is Asteria, and then it's oh, the name of the wizard is Asteria.
Yes.
So I would say that it should be so knows everything.
No, Asteria is the name of that word, and the witch name is I forgot.
Okay, no need. Asteria first. She knows everything. Okay, you can just not elaborate on the fact that they're going to ask because it's going to be obvious, of course. They're going to ask her because they're going to her. This is not it with two D's. Wondered. This wonders. This should be drinking. This should be a glass of milk and looking out window. Finally, they arrived at a wooden house. It looked very cozy, beautiful, and mysterious. They knocked on the door. Okay. Uh, this, I would say, should be the prize, nodded her head, gave a lot and good advice for you in this rock. Should be gemstone because gemstones are more, well, gemstones are usually more uh eloquent for rocks. It would feel more it just it would feel more bougie compared to like a rock instead of a gemstone. Like you would never call a diamond a gemstone, a rock, right? Although it is a rock. Your eyes and your dress have the same color as that gemstone now. That will make sure that you will always be safe. Nothing could harm you. Then she touches the gemstone on her necklace and immediately feels a warm source of energy rushing into her hand. She feels very energetic and okay, so there's a very fitting expression that I like to use in that she feels like she is on top of the world and can do anything, which is pretty fitting in this case here. Smiled. Okay. Then said, "Wait for me." She then disappeared for a while and appeared again holding a stopwatch with spells written on the other side of the watch and a pin on top of the watch. You don't need to just like repeat the word watch a lot, so you can just say a pin on top. She said, "This is a magical stopwatch. You could use it to stop time of all creatures but you and me. And to stop time, if you point this pin towards any creature and stop and press the stop button, that creature will have motion again. But you have just 3 chances of using this, and each chance you have the ability to okay, me carefully. My knees push those 2 things. Uh, usually I would say, sorry. Press those 2 things into Maria's hand and gave her some more helpful advice. "I lend you this. Remember to use these 2 things wisely. Be careful if you are arrested. Use your gemstone to call me because I have the exact gemstone. Just like yours. Try your best, Maria. Good luck." Okay, so I usually would add a bit more suspense here because there's a lot of risk here, right? For example, usually instead of just saying try your best, you could say, don't fail, Maria. You are our only hope. Things like that. I'll leave it in here if you want to change it later. Okay, it should be something like this. For the night. Now hurry up. Good luck. Start it to set. Is perfect. Sarah said, I will wait here. Okay. Usually you would say that your hand shake, not your leg shake, because if your leg shake, you couldn't continue walking, right?
Yes, maybe I was my legs shake sometimes if I was too scared or too nervous.
Yeah, I mean, like it would happen with you sitting down, but if you're like standing, you would probably pass out if your legs are shaking.
Yes.
A little bit as she passes through station to collect information. Also, information is not countable, so there should be no S behind it. You can't count information like you can't count one information, two information, right?
Yes.
So it should be just information. Okay, this is a bit problematic here because I see you have some problems with trying to express yourself here. It should be something like, at one moment, Maria gulped when she heard a quiet conversation between two soldiers. It turns out. Okay, is that the same witch? The evil.
Yes, that is the king. That is the king. The evil
Okay,
witch is also the king.
turns out already knew. Wait, no. The witch, Hermione, the witch that is not the same as the witch that is like ruling the throne, right?
Yes.
Okay, so I think you should add like a name to the evil witch so that we can differentiate the things.
Okay, I must. I
Okay, I'll just leave
Raven.
Raven. Okay, that's a good name. Uh, where is it? Which spelled like this? Uh, why isn't it working? And a powerful king ruled the land. Okay, you should say then already knew danger here. Interrogated a prophet. Right.
That was the part one. Part two are still there.
Yeah, I know. Let's see, part two. Okay, I'll try to speed this up because we only have a bit left. I'll dedicate about 3 classes for you guys to do this for me to edit your stories here. But if you're like not really comfortable, then you can just like you can just tell me, and or you can just put it in the back of the Padlet that you submitted, and I will just do everything for you. And if you have any questions, you can message me, okay? Know that the evil quit. So she.
Can you just send me a link to all those writings so I can write my story?
Okay. 1 second. I think it's in the chat because I think the chat saves itself. I'm not sure. Okay, can you see it? Luna, can you see it?
See what? Sorry?
No, I mean, can you see the Padlets that I sent?
Yeah.
Okay.
Wait.
Uh,
Yeah.
okay. Suspicion. Uh, he discovered by the king was ineffective. Thousands of souls. Morning, Maria was taken from a magical prison made by the evil witch to the execution ground. In that moment of life, standing, which there should be an about here.
On her necklace, but I'm reading it as on my necklace. Oh, it's just a mistake.
Okay, we can easily change that. Because her hands were already tied up, she couldn't use the stopwatch. Hurry, go and search for a way. Used it to cut the rope. Stole the golden ring from the king's finger and snake that should be knock out castle. That's all. There should be teen men past, and everything has into motion. Group of soldiers spotted Maria and tried to capture. Use her invisible cloak to become invisible. Okay, there's a plot hole here, and that is the witch has casted a spell so that the invisible cloak was ineffective. But then Maria is now using like the invisible cloak. So you can add a stipulation that you can say that
No,
it takes
it's
minutes of
like
time
in the castle. I will explain it. I think that it is in the castle, and the evil witch just cast a spell on the castle, but
okay, so
forgot to cast outside.
executing round. All right, okay.
He forgot to cast a spell on the outside area, and that is when Maria has got out the castle so she could use her invisible cloak.
Okay. No.
Could see.
Okay, could see Maria. And chased her. Should be frozen. Pin at Sarah and press the button. This should be quite hurriedly. When 15 minutes nearly passed, this should be tried, stopped. This should be stolen. This is yours. The animal. This should be said. And started to fade. Here I would usually use until he is no more, which means he basically means he died or he disappeared. Maria exacts. My niece is Maria's lost sister. And the reason was to find him. When they all returned home, they lived happily ever after. So yeah, that is one paragraph. That is one story. Wait, I will. Okay, the link to your document is in there. I'll also put it in the Google Drive so that makes it easier to find. If anyone has done if anyone has done their is done with their if anyone is done with their story, I will try to check it out and change and write and just basically try to correct it as little as I can be, of course, because it's not because sometimes it's just the style and not actually something that is a problem, not grammar or anything. Okay, so now what I want you to do for your homework, now what I want you to do is most of you have already done the 3-act template, and I want you to now start writing on the first act. If you have any problems with starting, if you have any problems with word choice, if you have any problems with writing it, you can just ask me here right now. We have about 15 minutes left, so make most of that time. Okay, everyone, please start writing, and when around 55, I want you guys to like publish everything. I don't really publish your work at that time too because I want to see how you guys are going. And please finish Act 1 by the end of Thursday, okay?
I don't get what we're supposed to do.
Okay, so you did the 3 acts, right? You did the 3-act template, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now we're going to start writing like Lisa did. Like start writing entire paragraphs like this.
But if you've already written like Lisa, you don't have to?
No, you have to write your own paragraph here. Like for example, your let's see. Like you did like the 3-act story template, right?
Yeah.
Now you're going to write like how Lisa did. You're going to write about your story, how according to the 3-act story template that you did.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so I want you guys to work on it right now, and if you're not done here, then work on it as your homework, and I want you guys to be done by Thursday. Okay, so I think I will give you okay. Start writing, everyone.
What's that beeping noise?
Don't worry. It's just the notifications I forgot to turn off.
What are we supposed to do again?
I'll stop sharing.
What are we supposed to do again?
We're going to write the story from the packet that I sent you. Remember?
What are we doing again?
Okay, so we're going to start writing the Act 1, like write the story.
Okay.
Just Act 1 or the whole thing?
For now, we're just going to write Act 1 and see how well that goes. Okay? Uh, Okay, everyone, please post your work right now because I want to see how you guys are doing. Like how much you guys just got done. Please just post it right now.
Teacher, I have poses.
Okay, let me see. Yeah. Sophia, did you put it in the wrong part? Because you should like write the part of the act one, like entire parts. And if you want, just remove the questions. I think if you remove the questions, it will make for already pretty good story.
I have done it in the last lesson.
Okay. Oh yeah, I saw that in the last lesson.
Yes, at the end.
Okay, the end. If you see. Oh, here, right, the chapter 1. This part, right? This part, right? I'm not sure, but
Yeah, no, the other.
this here.
Yes, of course. That is
Okay. I think you should just like I think if you like remove the questions here, it would already make for a pretty complete story. Did you write like the act like act 1? Did you write act 1 already? Like the story version of act 1, the full story version.
yes, I'm right.
You're writing?
Yes, of course.
Okay. So, it's already 6:05. I will expect that you guys finish act 1 by the end of Thursday, okay? Right, goodbye everyone.